Now, your News forecast first.
Good evening, everyone. We have cloud cover around Siouxland associated with a warm front pushing through, and it's not hard to see that warm front when we look at our temperatures. 48 in Estherville, 67 in Norfolk. In between, we have 56 around the Sioux City metro. So a mild night with that front in the area. We do expect skies to clear overnight. Bright sunshine at 10 o'clock with a temperature of 60. Near record highs tomorrow. Back in a few minutes to tell you how high the mercury will climb. It's time for your news.
Now on ABC 9 News.
Shut the plant down. Shut it down, take care of the community, and let them figure it out later.
South Sioux City homeowners call for drastic measures to fix a noxious odor issue.
We need the land. We need to for the growth.
This West Side Park could someday have a new use if Briarcliff expansion plans get the green light.
From the outside, this school bus looks like most others. It's what's inside that makes it unique.
There's not a lot of real-world experiences with actual seatbelts on school buses yet.
Now, live with local news that matters from KCAU-TV in Sioux City, Iowa. This is ABC 9 News at 10.
Good evening. Thanks for being with us. I'm Tim Seaman.
And I'm Jenna Renstrom. And we have breaking news now out of the north side of Sioux City at this hour.
That's where a speeding stolen car has crashed into a home. A man and woman taking off from that vehicle on foot.
KCAU 9's Bria Bell joins us live from the scene with the details. Bria?
Tim and Jenna, I'm at the corner of 25th and Court where officers responded to a car crashing into a home. What happened was a police officer was trying to make a traffic stop where he turned around to pull over the car, and a man and woman got out and took off on foot, crashing the car into the home. No one was home at the time. Officers are investigating the scene to determine if there are any evidence or clues as to who was driving the car, who the car belongs to, and whatnot. Witnesses say that they saw the man and woman run eastbound. Officers are asking questions or questioning those witnesses right now. I'll have more details later. Back to you.
All right, thanks so much, Bria. That accident happened just a few minutes ago, so we'll bring you more as we know. And in other news of the day, a noxious odor plaguing South Sioux City has gotten so bad that firefighters today actually had to rescue an elderly resident who was overcome by it.
The city contends that they've taken steps to fix that problem, linked to a sewer line issue at the Big Ox Energy Plant. The KCAU 9's Jamie Perez got an earful from affected homeowners just today. They say absolutely nothing has changed.
After nearly a month of toxic odor lingering, the smell in South Sioux is still around, and it's forcing residents to remove themselves from their homes.
Everything we've looked at online says you can't breathe this air. And the city is not being forthcoming enough to tell us. You know, all they said was, well, it's not safe, you should go to the marina, we'll pay for your room. But that doesn't fix anything. That just gets me out of the house.
The city says they're taking the steps in the right direction to getting that horrible smell out.
They started adding the chemicals at the plant. The chemicals have caused the tremendous reduction in the sulfides being emitted from that area. We've had calls from people at around that location. I've had council members gone out there, and everyone's very pleased to see that whole odor issue is being knocked down.
Residents, on the other hand, say they are not pleased.
I'm telling you that Mr. Hedquist is wrong. None of us are happy. The odor has not gone away. We still can't get in our houses. We're still staying at the Marina Inn. They're going to kick us out of the Marina Inn Monday morning, and we don't know where we're going to stay. We cannot habitate in our own homes.
And Mike isn't the only one who feels this way.
Is that bad? When I opened up the door this morning because they said they were going to do this test, I puked. I'm sorry, but it's nasty. I don't know how soon they're going to let us back in. Come Monday, we're homeless. And that's not acceptable.
Hedquist says the city's doing what they can, and there are various factors that determine when the smell will go completely away.
And I think part of that's going to depend on the extent of odor in those particular homes. I also think that some of the other locations will likely need more extensive work than that, and that's where the insurance carriers are going to have to step up and get involved and work with those individual owners to rectify that situation.
But residents have another solution in mind.
Shut the plant down. Shut it down, take care of the community, and let them figure it out later. The big bucks, aren't worth the people in the community.
In South Sioux City, Jamie Perez, KCAU 9 News.
Another contentious situation is unfolding tonight in North Dakota. That's where at least 117 arrests have occurred during the latest protest over the Dakota Access Pipeline project. Those arrests came following attempts by police to disperse what they described as an unruly crowd. But the Standing Rock Sioux tribe said police are continuing to overreact to the demonstrations and maintain tonight that the demonstrations are peaceful.
You can't buy much with just $1. Unless you're Briarcliff University, the school plans to expand and will only need $1 to purchase Headington Park from the city. The sale of the West Side Park isn't set in stone just yet because, as KCAU 9's Bria Bell explains, the school wants to make sure nearby residents will support the deal.
We certainly love to have more land for growth.
Briarcliff University is looking to do two things: create more practice fields for its athletic teams.
We need the land. We need to for the growth.
And connect with the community by getting students down from the hill and into the West Side neighborhoods.
So we couldn't ask for any better piece of land.
Briarcliff is looking to purchase Headington Park from the city. Specific plans like building new student housing on this land are still up in the air. But the idea is for the university to take over the public space on Isabella Street.
I think as long as they do leave something for the public to use, I don't have no problem with it.
But first, they plan to get input from the community about the project. The hope is to leave a portion of playground space for anyone to use. In Sioux City, Bria Bell, KCAU 9 News.
Now, the next step is to get that public input through public hearings. No word yet on when a first meeting might be.
The number of arrests stemming from a brutal Sioux City assault caught on video has doubled. In all, 4 teens are now in custody in that case. Arrested today for their alleged roles in this vicious attack were 16-year-old Al Lewis and 15-year-old Kenneth Thompson, both of Sioux City. The pair are charged with willful injury in the beating of Nicholas Hodgins earlier this month on West 3rd Street. Earlier this week, 16-year-old Devon Jackson and 16-year-old Austin Rockwood were arrested for allegedly taking part in that assault. The victim, Hodgins, suffered a concussion along with broken teeth and bones.
Now to Omaha, where police are on the lookout for 3 masked crooks seen on video breaking into a gas station and using a blowtorch to steal the ATM inside. This is surveillance footage from that break-in. The men appear to be trying to break the safe open, but when that wouldn't work, they brought out the blowtorch, and the ATM wasn't all the thieves took, according to the gas station owner.
Oh, you see, they have broken ATM. They robbed all cigarette here, 2 registers. Feels bad, you know, that's not easy.
The crooks got away with about $28,000 from inside the ATM. The blowtorch heist also caused thousands of dollars worth of damage.
A commercial airline pilot in South Dakota is under arrest, taken into custody in the cockpit of his plane just moments before scheduled takeoff from Rapid City. As ABC's David Curley shows us, that pilot was too drunk to fly.
The regional Delta jetliner took off hours late after the arrest of that pilot. It was a TSA officer who noticed the smell of alcohol and alerted Rapid City Police. The 38-year-old was in the cockpit for the 8:30 a.m. flight when police boarded, taking him into custody. But so far, police have not released his blood alcohol level. For the 45 delayed passengers,
I'm pretty perturbed just for the absolute ignorance of one person could have messed up a lot of people's lives.
They finally headed to Salt Lake City when a replacement pilot made it onto the jet. SkyWest, which operates the Delta flight, apologized, adding the crew member has been placed on administrative leave and removed from flying duties while the incident is investigated. Pilots face a stricter standard. A blood alcohol level of just 0.04 is illegal. Still, as we've seen, like this incident on a tarmac, on average, once a month, a pilot is arrested, potentially facing federal charges, like former JetBlue pilot Dennis Murphy.
Did you put 270 passengers at risk? No comment.
In Wednesday's incident, the pilot was already in the cockpit taking part in the pre-flight check when police arrived. He is now facing operating an aircraft under the influence charges. David Curley, ABC News, Washington.
Seatbelts on school buses, it's something we could see in the future in Siouxland because they're being tested right now in Des Moines. The test is part of a new study on school bus safety. After the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration recommended school buses have seatbelts, Des Moines ordered 2 brand new buses with belts. These buses are part of a test run during the remainder of the school year to see how well kids adapt. If it becomes mandatory that school buses have to have seatbelts, the cost for local schools wouldn't be cheap.
The additional cost for a brand new bus was between $7,500 and $9,000 per bus. And that's a pretty big bump on a bus that costs, without that, about $83,000 or $84,000 a piece.
The Des Moines School District's 2 new school buses with seatbelts are able to fit 65 students.
A scare tonight for GOP vice presidential candidate Mike Pence as he headed to the East Coast following campaign stops here in Iowa and Nebraska. His campaign plane skidding off the runway at a New York airport. Pence wasn't injured in the plane mishap, but it shut down runways at LaGuardia for some time. The rough landing for Pence followed his appearance at rallies in Omaha and Fort Dodge, where he vowed Trump would end illegal immigration and do away with Obamacare. Meanwhile, ABC's Lana Zach shows us the race between Trump and Hillary Clinton is tightening.
In Ohio, Donald Trump launched a full assault on Hillary Clinton and her family.
They didn't create anything, produce anything, invent anything. All they did was sell favors, sell access, and sell out the American worker.
The Clinton campaign dogged by another batch of hacked emails released by WikiLeaks, allegedly from one of Bill Clinton's longtime aides. ABC News has not been able to validate the stolen documents that purport to show how donors to the Clinton Foundation were encouraged to hire the former president for lucrative speaking engagements. These efforts called Bill Clinton Inc. But in North Carolina, there was no mention of it as Michelle Obama took the stage with Hillary Clinton for the first time in this campaign.
Seriously, is there anyone more inspiring than Michelle Obama?
Many believe with her vitality, Mrs. Obama is Clinton's strongest advocate in the final days of this election.
We have never had a more qualified and prepared candidate for president than our friend Hillary Clinton.
The daily ABC News Washington Post national tracking poll shows this race is only getting tighter. Trump gaining on Clinton, she now leads by just 6 points. And late Thursday evening, Governor Pence, Trump's running mate, had a scare as his plane skidded off the runway at New York's LaGuardia Airport. No one was injured.
Clinton did not talk about WikiLeaks from the trail. Her campaign did put out a statement, however, saying that they would not be commenting on any of those specific emails. Lana Zach, ABC News, Washington.
For 2 decades, a group of Siouxlanders has been raising money so they can help people a half a world away.
Tonight was a big step forward in their next efforts. It's called a Night of Hope, a social night and auction to raise money for a group called STEM. That stands for Siouxland Tanzania Educational and Medical Ministries. Proceeds from the event will help provide education to the children of that country and badly needed medical care.
The night kicks off with a silent auction with tons of different items from gift certificates to African artwork. And then there's a live auction with great items as well, such as vacation homes and dinners and other African items as well.
The ministry plans to raise more than $150,000 this year. 20 years that group's been here in Siouxland, Tim.
And if you've heard any of the stories that they bring back, it's really something.
Pretty amazing.
That's right.
Still to come tonight, we'll show you why one South Sioux City resident is being recognized for her efforts in making that town's new fire station a reality.
And I've bumped tomorrow's high even warmer. Wait till you see this. A cooler weekend follows, and then we'll have your Halloween forecast. That's all coming up.
You're watching ABC 9 News at 10 with Tim Seaman, Jenna Renstrom, Chief Meteorologist Fred Hexam, and Sports Director Chris Palmquist. This is ABC 9 News at 10.